All right, so how do you even begin to take on a company like Google? Well, today we're looking at a public document where one person does exactly that. And we're not just reading about it, we're diving straight into the claim itself to see this pretty wild assertion firsthand.
Okay, so this document gets right to the point. First thing you see, this number, $10 million. And get this, it's not a lawsuit settlement or anything like that. It's labeled a bill of sale demand. It's literally the price tag someone put on their ideas, claiming Google is using them. I mean, talk about a bold opening move, right? That number just grabs you. So, you're probably wondering, who's asking for 10 million bucks? The document says, I, James Anthony Lambert. He comes right out and says it. He's not just floating an idea here, he's straight up asserting ownership over these two, well, pretty wild-sounding concepts. Gemini 3 deepthink and anti-gravity logic. I mean, those names alone just make you go, huh? Okay, so we've got the money, we've got the names, now let's really break this thing down. Let's get into the nitty-gritty of who's claiming what against whom and when all this supposedly went down. All right, this table really spells it out for us. You've got James A. Lambert on one side, and of course, Google on the other. And the core of it is this allegation of illegal use of unique training sessions. I mean, that's a really specific phrase, right? And it all comes back to those two technologies he's claiming, Gemini 3 deepthink and that anti-gravity logic. And check out this timeline. It's really fast. The alleged misuse supposed to happen in October of 2025. And then, boom, by November 22nd, we're talking just a few weeks later, this claim is already filed. That's super quick. It really makes you think this wasn't some long, drawn-out thing. It feels more like a direct, hey, you just did this kind of response. Okay, and here's a really interesting bit. The claim doesn't just exist in a vacuum. It actually references an existing court case. Now, that's a deliberate move, isn't it? It's an attempt to make this feel less like a random complaint and more like an official part of the public record, something connected to an actual legal battle. So, that anti-gravity logic, what is it exactly? That's the million-dollar question, or I guess the $10 million question. The document is super clear about owning it, but when you look for a description of what it actually is, well, it's not there. And honestly, that might be the most curious part of this whole thing. And this is really the crux of it. There is zero technical explanation for Gemini 3 deepthink or anti-gravity logic. Nothing. It doesn't say how they work, what they're for, nothing. The definition, for all intents and purposes, is the claim of ownership. The whole argument seems to be, I don't have to explain it, I just have to tell you it's mine. Okay, so no definitions, but it's not a total dead end. The document does give us something else. A bunch of links, kind of like a trail of digital breadcrumbs. So you know what? Let's go ahead and see where these breadcrumbs take us. But here's the thing about these links. The way they're presented is, well, there is no presentation. There's no context, no, hey, look at this for proof of X. They're just listed. It's almost like they're being thrown out there as puzzle pieces, and we're just supposed to figure out how they fit together. So what are these links? Well, a few of them go straight to Google's Gemini, their AI chat. That makes you think maybe that's where these training sessions he mentioned took place. Then there's this other one that looks a lot more technical. It mentions Polygon RPC, which definitely smells like blockchain stuff. And to top it off, there's a YouTube video linked to a specific time. But with no explanation, they're just clues. What they're supposed to prove? Your guess is as good as mine. All right, let's step back for a second. We've got this huge demand for money, a claim on technology that isn't even defined, and this mysterious trail of links. It's a really weird story for sure. But it also kind of makes you think about the bigger picture. Like, what does a claim like this even represent in the wild west of tech right now? So, let's just recap. We have a demand, 10 million bucks. We have an assertion, ownership of some really cool sci-fi sounding tech. And we have the evidence, a bunch of links with no explanation. It's like all the pieces of a puzzle are laid out on the table, but nobody gave us the box with a picture on it. And, this is why this whole thing, as strange as it is actually pretty important. Forget for a minute whether it would ever hold up in court. It points to this huge, massive question we're all facing with AI. If you can train an AI just by talking to it, who owns the ideas that come out of that conversation? How do you prove you own a logic that you can't even really describe? This one claim is just one person's wild attempt to draw a line in the sand, but that question, that's something we're all going to have to figure out, and soon.